Your job as a recording engineer is almost part psychologist, part vibe master, part engineer. What do you think?
That's cool. I like it.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
So good.
I'm stoked.
My name's Damien Lewis. I'm a recording, mixing engineer and producer based out of Los Angeles. And I'm really excited to be here today because we have something very cool in store. We have the artist named MISY with us, and she brought a wonderful song called American Spirit. And we're gonna go through how I record pop vocals using the brand new interface from Audient, the ID44. So my day-to-day consists of working at all sorts of studios around the Los Angeles area, and I like to travel with my own recording rig, and that consists of a computer and my ID44 interface. And that allows me to capture audio in a way that I'm comfortable with, and I know I have pristine sounding mic pre's, line inputs, and converters. So there's a couple things you can do to set yourself up for a successful recording. One is to have great communication with the artist, and that starts with making a game plan for the recording. You may discuss whether you want to record full takes from top to bottom, or whether you want to work on one section at a time, get multiple takes, and then come in and comp from those. Something that I've learned over the years is to be prepared for any situation that could possibly happen. No matter how prepared you think you are, you've checked your microphone before the artist has arrived, you checked your headphones. Just keep in mind that inevitably they could ask for something crazy, and be prepared for that moment. It's your job to make sure that everything runs smoothly and the vibe never gets destroyed and takes the artist out of the moment. That can be things from the way the room smells, to the lights, to the air conditioning, to the way everything sounds, or maybe the people that are around. So in addition to the recording, you need to be the center of everything and make sure that everything's running smoothly and the artist never loses that moment of creativity. Let's step into the live room and talk to MISY and see if there's anything she needs from a singer's perspective. MISY, so as the recording artist, what is it that you need to make yourself comfortable when you're cutting a vocal?
So for me personally, I love when a producer is super comfortable and natural in terms of I don't feel the pressure. You were very just inviting and welcoming to me the second I got here, which immediately helped my nerves. So sometimes when a producer just tells me to relax or shake it out or take a deep breath, that always helps me. And I always need to take deep breaths before I start. That kind of helps me to get in the right mindset.
Well, recording is a very personal thing.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of artists can tend to be perfectionists. So It helps when the producers kind of helps us to know that we don't have to be perfect, so.
Yeah, we're not trying to be perfect. We're just trying to find those special moments.
Exactly.
Anything that I can do to help bring that out of you means I'm doing my job right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the first time I heard this song, American Spirit by MISY, the thing that jumped out to me was how beautiful her voice was. So as the engineer, it's extremely important to capture the detail in her voice. To me, the first place to start with that is our microphone choice and our mic preamp. So we're going to be using the stock preamp that's built into the ID44 today because in my opinion, it's very detailed and uncolored and will perfectly capture all of the detail of her voice. Some things to take into consideration when you're choosing a mic for a vocalist are the frequency response of that mic and how that matches up with the vocalist. Since everyone's voice has a different tonality, some microphones can highlight some very beautiful parts of the voice or some may not sound so nice. So let's step into the live room and we're going to take a look at mic placement and how I set up for recording vocals. All right, I'm going to get this mic set up in the right spot for you.
Perfect.
Raise it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty tall.
Do you normally like to look up a little bit or down, or do you have any specific?
Yeah, usually a little bit up.
A little bit up? Okay, so maybe we'll come up a little higher.
Yeah,
and
that looks perfect.
then angle it down just a little bit.
Okay.
So today we decided to go with the U87 after trying a couple different microphones. And in my opinion, it was the microphone that just matched up perfectly with her voice. Some things to take into consideration once you've chosen your microphone is the proximity of the singer to the microphone. You don't need to be that close to the mic. A lot of times you'll see people get right up on the capsule. That causes a couple things. It brings out a lot of unwanted noises in the voice, like lip smack, and makes things sound a little more sibilant and bassy. So it's a super detailed microphone. You've got tons of mic preamp gain, so it's okay to get 6-7 inches back from the microphone. And a little trick that I'll do is I'll use the pop filter almost as a buffer. So if I put it 6 or 7 inches from the microphone, it allows them to not get any closer to the mic than that. It's important to pay attention to the consistency while they're tracking, especially if you're doing multiple takes. So as an engineer, it's important to take the time to listen to the detail and how close or far away you've decided to help them stand from the microphone during the takes. Misy's voice has a lot of natural warmth to it, so I think being at kind of a mid position from the microphone will capture the air in her voice, but also the body and the warmth that makes her sound really interesting. So with Misy, we're going to take a fairly standard approach to the first pass of her vocals. Since she has a very dynamic, expressive voice and she's experienced in the booth, we're going to give her a little room to work the microphone. So with her, we're going to let her have free reign over her distance and see what that looks like going to tape. Here's your headphones.
Perfect.
And your overall volume is going to be right here. And then we'll do a pass and get some levels and let me know how it sounds if you want me to change anything, more or less of your voice against the track or anything you need to be comfortable.
Okay.
Sound good?
Great. Yeah, sounds great.
Cool. Let's go. I'm going to go ahead and run the track back and we'll go ahead and dial in some levels, okay?
Okay, great.
And let me know if you need anything.
Awesome.
Here you go.
Red lipstick left on his cheek. She's a killer on the inside. Left as quick as a weed, tumbling down the road with her gold eyes wide. Run away she goes, but she'll be back in time.
That was amazing. You sound beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Gain staging your vocal on the way in is one of the most important things that you can do to capture a good vocal. If it's recorded too hot, it's going to be distorted and clip your converters, and that's something that you can't undo in the mix. Generally, I like to have my vocals hit about 3/4 the way up the meter. So on the ID44 is a very handy feature called a high pass filter. Most of the usable content in your vocal is going to be above 100 Hertz. The stuff below that, you're typically not going to want in your recording. Sometimes that low-end rumble can do undesirable things like cause your compressor to be triggered even though it's something that you're not really hearing, or sometimes it's just ambient noise that's happening in the studio. So it's a very common thing to put a high-pass filter on a vocal, and it's something that I like to do right from the beginning and commit to that going to tape. As an engineer, the artist headphone mix is probably one of the most important things beyond getting a proper level to tape that you can do. It's important to make sure that they're comfortable, make sure that they can hear themselves okay, make sure that they can hear all of the instruments okay. Sometimes the artist might have a little trouble articulating what exactly it is that they need in their headphones. So it's your job to put the pieces together and figure out what things you can do to make the artist as comfortable as possible when they're in the booth. How are your headphones? Is there anything I can make better for you?
They're good. I feel like maybe, sounds like it's peaking a little bit, like when I go to the higher notes.
Yeah, we'll just back
Do
you
I
down
just-
a little bit more.
Okay.
Just in case. You have two options when you're recording a vocal. You can either record things absolutely clean with no external processing, meaning no EQ or compression, or like myself, I like to commit to that going in. So I'll record with a little bit of compression and a little bit of EQ on the way in. Something I use to achieve that is the inserts on the ID44. So using the send and return inserts, I can put a hardware compressor in line with the mic pre and get a little bit of gain reduction going to tape right from the very beginning. That allows the singer to lay into the mic a little bit and have that gain reduction, keep your levels in check so you're not clipping your inputs. So it's very important to watch your attack and release time and make sure that the sound that you're committing to is something that you can live with for the life of that recording. So something that I look for when I'm setting my attack and release is a slow to medium slow attack time so that it doesn't grab onto the transients too quickly but still controls the peaks. And with your release time, you want something that kind of bounces with the music. If you're seeing that your gain reduction needle is holding and not returning too quickly, then you're going to want to make a little faster release adjustment. So for today's setup, we're going to have Misy in the live room cutting vocals on the U87, plugged directly into the mic pre on the ID44. We're going to be using phantom power to power the microphone along with the high pass filter and the built-in mic preamp. We're also going to have the Warm Audio 1176 on a hardware insert for a little bit of compression going to tape. And then we'll be using the talkback functionality and the headphones to feed everything that Misy's hearing in the live room while we're recording. Now that we got a great level, should we go ahead and get a few takes of each section so we can put a comp together from that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. We'll start with the first verse, okay?
Okay.
And we'll get 3 or 4 takes of that and then move on.
Okay.
Red lipstick left on his
Cool. Sounds amazing.
Great. Thank you.
So I'll start you 2 bars before the easy to crave, hard to shake. Okay?
Okay.
Easy to crave and hard to shake. Breathe her in, then watch her fade. Oh, American spirit. Oh, American spirit. Oh, American spirit. American spirit. American spirit. American spirit.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, thank you.
You sound amazing.
Thank you so much.
That's it.
I
We
really
got
do
it.
love this song. Like, as a songwriter, it's like you don't always love the songs you write. Even the songs
Yeah.
that sometimes people love, you're like, it's not my favorite. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But this one I really do love. So
I can tell in the performance. It sounds amazing.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Good job.
Yay, thank
job.
you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
So now you've seen my whole vocal recording process. Hopefully there's some tips and tricks in there that you can take back with you to help you make better sounding recordings, whether you're at home or whether you're in a professional studio.